Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be trying out the my G43 at 75 yards, and that's basically that plate in the middle of the screen right there. Right, it's white with a red stripe going through it. That's at 75 yards. And interesting. I mean, I just realized this looking at this screen from behind that you can actually see. I forget what the name of it is, but you can see the wind. Um, I mean, you can see the wind. I can't see it with my naked eye, but when you zoom in, you can see that the you could tell that there's a distortion from the wind. So that's interesting how you can see it a lot better with the magnification scope. Like right now, there's no wind, so there's no fluttering. Well, anyway, let me zoom you guys back out. That was more of like a side note. Get you back out all the way. Okay, good. So I'm gonna be right here. That's what I'm going to be shooting at. You should be able to know if I hit it because you're going to hear the dings. And this is not something I'm expecting to get a whole lot of hits at. I just want to see what I can do. So I really like this rangefinder. This is a Sig Op Mod. I got it through Optics Planet. Really good. Really good for basically knowing exactly what distance I'm shooting at. All right, so using my G43, got the Howson 507K. What I'm going to be doing is I got that plate out there. It's about 2 feet tall, 1 foot wide. I'm putting because I use the 32 MOA circle. I'm putting that basically at what would be the neck area. That will allow for any drop inside that 75 yards. There shouldn't be much drop, but I mean, there'll be a little bit, maybe 4 inches or something. So I'm going to be aiming towards the top of the target. Not over it, but just like it basically, at the neck, high chest area. Okay, let's see what I get. All right, so 3 out of 7 at 75 yards with the G43. Interesting thing is I forgot to change the battery. It started doing the blinky. Show you guys what the blinky looks like. Actually, I gotta angle this down a little bit so you'll focus. So basically, time to change the battery. That's the thing with the 507K. Where are you? See how I was doing the blinky? I checked it this morning before I put the holster on. And basically 507K, in the summertime I get 4 weeks out of this because there's no solar panel on this. There's no light sensor, so when I put this in the holster, it does not dim down. And I need to have this bright enough, set at a bright enough setting because I got a bright sun over there. I got to be able to pull this out, aim in the direction of the sun, and still be able to see that. So I keep it in pretty much the highest setting. So in the summertime, I get like 4 weeks out of it. In the wintertime, days are a little bit shorter. I usually get about 6 weeks out of it, or 6 to 8 weeks. And the reason is because I tend to go home earlier. Gun goes in the safe sooner, so it stops moving around, because as long as it's on my body, I'm moving around. But interesting thing that what I did is I decided, because I mean, for a second I said, oh, okay, let's stop the video and reload a battery. I said, that's what it is. Let's actually do this test with the blinky. It was a little bit of a distraction, but still I was able to work through that and get 3 out of 7 hits with the G43. So, not because I carry, it's a 6-round magazine, right? And I had one in the chamber, so I got 3 out of 7 hits. I just ordered the Z9. Can't wait for it to come in. The Z9 basically is an aftermarket magazine by Shield Arms, where it's an all steel body, which allows for a total of 9 rounds in the magazine, because the internal of the magazine is a little bit bigger and it goes into the G43. However, it does have that little pinky extension, which I do not like, okay, because I like to have the gun, I like the flush bottom. Makes a big difference when I sit in the car. The back of the gun is less likely to stick into the car seat. And when I find that when I use magazines with the pinky extension, I mean that little ½ inch, I mean I can feel it makes a difference. So what I'm going to do, if anything, I'm going to carry that Z9 as the extra magazine. But I got to test it out. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this demonstration of what the G43 can do at 75 yards. And I'm not saying that somebody that's better than me won't do better, but the gun can get 3 out of 7 hits. I'm going to say that there's a little bit of, if it was just 1 hit, I would say, okay, I got lucky. But 3 out of 7, I think there's a little bit more than just luck involved there. And at 75 yards, I can see that I am working within the gun's capabilities, obviously from a rested position. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you all soon. Make sure you subscribe and find me on Odyssey, which is an uncensored channel. My channel name over there is Pocono Tactical, and Odyssey spelled ODYSEE.com. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you all soon. All right, we're going to try this now at 50 yards. Same target, 2 foot long by 1 foot wide. From a benched position. Same thing, Glock 43s, 7 rounds. All right, 4 out of 7. I only improved by 1, and I could definitely see I was pulling the trigger. One of the things I have found out with the pistols, because of the way your hands sit on the table, there's a good chance for the thing to be canted a little bit, which throws off, how the scope is set up and how your drop is set up. So you got to make sure that the gun is held straight. So I got 4 out of 7. Now I tried the 75 yards again. Point the camera up. I tried the 75 yards again. The first time my first time out today at 75 yards, I got 3 out of 7. Was not able to repeat that. Everything after that came in 2 out of 7. And a couple of times I got 1 out of 7. So 3 out of 7 at 75 yards on that target was really my best. Obviously at the 50 yards, I'm doing a little bit better. Let's try this one more time and see how we do. Pause this, go reload. Actually, I was gonna go get it. I was gonna go fill up this magazine here, but you know what? This will be an opportunity. Let me just use this magazine that I use as a backup, just because it's been sitting there for so long. Let's make sure it's working. So now we only got 6 rounds. Yeah, let's see how that does. Make sure this camera's rolling. Yeah, it's rolling. Let's try. We got 6 rounds now. In the backup bag. Okay, so got 5 out of 6. So I got 1 miss. And this is interesting. The thing that I think the reason why I missed that fifth one is because as my hands sit on the table, right? If you look at my hands here, right? They don't quite match up perfectly. You see how my left hand sits a little bit lower? So when I place it on the table, if I'm not super careful, the gun starts rolling over. Okay? So instead of holding the gun like this, right? Instead of holding it like this, I hold it like that, right? So instead of like this, I'm slightly like that. And I think that changes that changes a lot of things, right? Because especially here where your dot is higher than your barrel, when you throw this off to the side a little bit, that's going to throw you off completely. And that's really interesting because I had not considered that. And with the larger D17s and even the G19, which has a bigger grip, I'm able to rest the gun. So, basically with the G17, especially when I'm shooting this kind of distance, my hands both rest better on the table. With the smaller gun, my left hand hangs down a little bit further, which tends to roll the gun over to the side. And that's definitely the reason why I missed that fifth shot, because I saw that and I corrected back, and I was able to get the 5 out of 6 at 50 yards. So in 50 yards, from a benched position like this, I have a lot of confidence that I can hit a man-sized target. Now, mind you, these targets they're 2 foot by 1 foot wide, so it's and a man is much wider than that, so it's well inside basically the chest area, right? So you won't be hitting like the edges or anything. 2 foot by 1 foot, and a guy my size, you're definitely hitting center mass. So at 50 yards, after having done this, I have a lot of confidence that I can make my shots. I also have a lot of confidence now in this G43, because one of the things that I noticed early on when I first built these, right, is even though like within the first 200 rounds, right, with that break-in period, I noticed that I could hold the gun here and shoot bang, 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 bang. Gun was working reliably, right? But then when I went to shoot it rested, just because your grip, it might be a little bit off, I noticed that I was getting occasional jams. Now that the gun has broken in a lot more, I have noticed that, today I've shot at least 60 or 70 rounds just testing it back and forth. The first one that you saw where I was shooting at 75 yards, that was the very first time I was shooting today. And then after that, I did a whole bunch of more tests at 75 yards. Could not beat the 3 out of 7. Okay, so 3 out of 7 at 75 yards is my best with this gun. And then at the 50 yards, I saw that I could easily get four out of 7. And even 5 out of 6. So obviously at 50 yards, I have a lot more confidence. So really valuable information I've gained today with regards to, my capabilities with this G43 and the gun's capabilities. Being able to shoot it from a benched position, and its ability to work reliably. Of course, my biggest test is shooting this one-handed in my left hand. That's the big test to make sure that the gun is reliable. Okay, but I really enjoyed that. I feel a lot more comfortable about carrying this gun. I feel a lot more comfortable about my capabilities and about knowing the limits of my capabilities. I'm good all the way out to 50 yards. At 75 yards, it would be preferable either for me to get closer to my target, or even better yet, for my target to get a little bit closer to me. If it's a deadly threat, and it needs to be shot. But yep, interesting info. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you all soon.